And by the time I got on air, I said, we don't know what's happening. This is very strange. The reports out of Europe and Russia and the region are that the puppet of NATO in Georgia has attacked South Ossetia and Abkhazia. And it took 4 days for CNN and Fox to retract and say, actually, Georgia did launch a sneak attack and went in and killed the Russian peacekeepers and shelled people's apartment complexes and homes and just went door to door murdering people, throwing hand grenades into people's houses. So, I mean, I have trouble dealing with these level of lies. I get fooled by it sometimes. Because who could believe that they would go with a hoax that big and say that Russia had attacked? Am I saying Russia's good or isn't corrupt? No, it's corrupt. What did Christ talk about? Wickedness in high places. What does history show? 98% of the time you have corruption. You have tyrannies in place. Liberty is that shining rare jewel that Thomas Jefferson talked about. And then they were bringing in NATO troops and U.S. forces were landing and U.S. advisors were killed. And the Russians rolled in mobile, medium-range nuke trucks with nukes on the back. And the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the Russians went on television. This was all over foreign news and finally came out here and said, we've moved nuclear weapons in. And if you don't back off, we're going to fire them. We're preparing for war with NATO. I mean, that's how crazy these globalists are, that gambit of doing that. And then people say, well, it's patriotic to say Russia attacked, Alex, and you need to be patriotic. Patriotic to the banking syndicate that controls NATO in our country that would try to start World War III with the Russians or was testing to see what the Russians would do? I mean, image the world as a giant powder keg with 50,000 plus nuclear weapons in 11 countries' hands, most of it Russia and the U.S., and image Dick Cheney, who it's now been declassified, called for that and ran that operation, running around with a giant flaming torch with red embers falling off all over a firework factory floor with black powder piled up all around his feet. These people are destabilizing the world in their lust for total control. They're dangerous. They're authoritarians. They want tyranny. And now they're doing something just as crazy openly. And again, I got blindsided by Russia. A situation on 888, and the media saying they'd done it when they didn't. 100% that wasn't true. And early last week, I'm like, oh, there's no way our government would be throwing out their favorite dictator in the region. This guy's got most of the torture camps there. He does whatever he's told. But I began to look at it and said, well, clearly they knew that there was going to be a revolution. They knew the people were angry. They're tracking their Twitter and they're Googling, and they know that there's major unrest over there brewing. And so they trigger it to bring in their guy. And even if that doesn't succeed, it destabilizes everything. And now the supposed government is on record. The CIA meeting with the Muslim Brotherhood a year ago, and then again 6 months ago, and then again a month ago, openly getting ready for this, and headlines, U.S. government, funding and controlling opposition. And then if you didn't need more evidence, Brzezinski comes out and says it. Kissinger comes out and says it. And if you need more evidence of what they're doing and how dangerous they are, then Obama comes out yesterday when it wasn't clear what Mubarak was going to do and said, yeah, he needs to step down. Everybody's like, yay, democracy. Obama wants him to be free. No, he doesn't. All they tell us all day is about radical Muslims and how dangerous they are. And a group they control is now openly trying to overthrow other countries in the region. This is a destabilization tactic, and it shows how incredibly dangerous the New World Order is. It shows how risky they are. And we've got to stop fighting with each other over nations. We've got to realize there's a global corporate state, and the answer to it is an awakening to their system. Because the road they're dragging us down is not a good place to go. All right, let's go to your calls. Jason in Georgia, then Julio and others. Go ahead, Jason.
Jason, Alex, how you doing?
Good.
Listen here, just want to comment on the show about Bohemian Grove. I got a message to Meltzer and that crew of his. That's a bunch of spineless wimps. Look, they set you up. They led you down that river to a setup, and they can try to hide the truth. It's not working. The truth's getting out, and these bald-headed wimps like Meltzer and that JAG advocate general, I mean, and that woman, what a bootlicker. They come out of that jail kissing the police's ass. I can't believe this.
Well, I understand you're angry, but let's all try to watch our language because it can get out of control. Meltzer's back on tomorrow, so I definitely tune in for that because I've now had a chance to see the show. And I said I'd do this on Monday, Tuesday, but I tend to not cover news I'm in as much as other talk show hosts would. If there's other more important things going on, I tend to not get into, kind of corollary or even capillary issues. But I tell you what I'll do. At 8 after next hour, I'm going to play about 5 minutes of the show, and I'm going to analyze it here. And, yes, they talk about what a great club it is and how they'd love to be members. And, it's almost like a fawning worshipfulness of it. And then he also has me describing the ritual. Then he cuts it off and says, and that's it. That's all that happened. Now, I said a lot more, and that's not all that happened. And then they don't basically describe that I escaped. They just talk about how they got arrested. But I'll say it's about as hardcore as you could imagine to get on History Channel. There was a Discovery Channel piece that a major director put together that I was in 3.5 years ago, and it was the biggest budget for a 5-part series in the history of Discovery Channel, $3.4 million. They made the whole series, and the Joe Bellinger's his name, or Belger. He's been on as a guest. And he made Brother's Keeper. He made Some Kind of Monster. I mean, he's as big as it gets in documentary filmmaking, except for somebody like Michael Moore. And they made the whole piece, and then Discovery Channel just said, we're shelving it. We're not going to air it. You didn't make Alex Jones look bad enough. And he said he was given final cut, and he had never seen anything like this in his career happen. And so, yeah, that's what goes on. But what do? Do I not take the field when Nightline wants to come down here or MSNBC? Do I not? Because even in them trying to take what I do and spinning it, we're able to then illustrate it and expose what they're doing. But one thing Meltzer did do that he kept his word on is he said, don't worry, you look pretty good in the piece. And I think overall they didn't butcher what I had to say too much, and they made me look credible because I was credible in the way I spoke. But it was really kind of 50-50 where they would show both sides, but kind of watered down what I had to say. But then at the end, Meltzer says that he doesn't particularly like the secrecy at the Grove, and every expert they talk to does say that basically it's bad what's going on there. But overall, it is a whitewash, and you're absolutely right. I will play a few minutes of that and analyze it. The Secret Society Bohemian Grove special that aired last Thursday night on the History Channel. And Meltzer is joining us tomorrow on the transmission.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Is it really possible to get out of debt without payment plans or attorneys? 18 years ago, we developed a program that has made thousands debt-free in just 90 days. It's called Zero Debt in 90 Days, and it works for all credit card debt, medical bills, even collection lawsuits.
When I first joined, I was being sued. So I used the program methods And after filing one piece of paper, the collection lawsuit was dismissed.
With zero debt in 90 days, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back and stop creditors in only 90 days, guaranteed. Prevent wage garnishments, bank levies, and stop collection calls with our proven program. Call Zero Debt in 90 days now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
When making important financial decisions, you should always know the facts. That's why Midas Resources is willing to pay you to read the facts. Midas Resources, a team of hand-picked financial specialists with decades of financial experience who are ready to provide you with state-of-the-art, up-to-date financial services. Midas Resources offers a host of services and stands behind their products. In fact, if you call and order their free Midas report, Midas Resources will pay you. This detailed report will provide you with financial history on the safest and most profitable areas to invest in. If you read the report, Midas Resources will send you a free Walking Liberty silver $50. So what are you waiting for? Get the facts and call Midas Resources toll free at 888-292-2709. That's 888-292-2709. And remember, if you read the Midas report, you'll receive a free Walking Liberty silver $50.
This message starts with a great offer from Big Berkey Water Filters because we don't want you drinking dangerous water 1 minute longer. Right now, purchase any filter system from BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com to get your choice of 2 Berkey Sport bottles, a KDF shower filter, a set of fluoride filters, or our new sight glass spigot absolutely free. Why do this? Because over 60% of municipal water is fluoridated, and at less than 2 cents per gallon, Berkey Water Filters purify both treated and untreated water, removing dangerous chlorine, fluoride, and other contaminants. Big Berkey water filters are powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, so they're perfect for rainwater collection systems and emergency preparedness. Remember, Big Berkey includes free shipping on every order over $50, and GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit BIGBERKEY waterfilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com or call today 1-877-99-BERKEY.
You've got it. This transmission is coming to you. All right, you are go. All right, you are go.
By the way, we got a power pack transmission for you tomorrow. Nomi Prinz, formerly with Goldman Sachs, exposing what they're up to. And getting into some of the virtual currencies they're deploying will be joining us. Brad Meltzer and George Norrie tomorrow, and a whole bunch of amazing other guests also coming up on Friday. Let's continue with your phone calls here. Julio in Illinois, you're on the air.
Alex Jones, it's great to talk to you from FEMA Region 5 here in the blizzard-covered state of Illinois. But it's global warming, Alex. It's the windshield's in the negatives, and it's our CO2 and our greenhouse gas causing all this corruption, this catastrophe going on outside.
Well, remember, and we have a clip of the late Senator Byrd saying 8 years ago that we wouldn't have any more snow, that they had this for sure with their global warming forecast, and that we were basically all in deep trouble. But then meanwhile, Al Gore put a press release out on his Al Gore website, algore.com, saying that the snow is caused by climate change and global warming.